I'm on YouTube. There. There we go. Okay. We're working now. I think. Hey, Pumpkin. How's it going? Just here to say hi. I can't stay long, but hi! Hi, Pumpkin. Thank you for dropping by. Horsey, it's been so long since we've talked. Hee or I guess since you've made. Yeah, well, it's been a while. It's been too long. I love you too, Pumpkin. How are we all doing today? Bye, Pumpkin. Feel free to come back whenever you can. Pumpkin gonna play the spooky. She is, yeah, she got a new game. A very good game at that as well. I'm doing good. How is the horse? Horse is doing good as well. A little tired, but I'm fine. Is that game for the Quest? Yes, it is, I believe, only on the Quest 2. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Lies Beneath is a horror comic VR game. And I believe it's only for the Quest 2. It could be an Oculus store as well, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's very nice looking. Like, if you like the cell shading in comic books or in games like Wind Waker, I think you'll appreciate the look of the game. Okay, so what we have here, guys, is the Christmas story that we're going to be uploading soon, called White Christmas. Also, does this have a similar style to the Telltale game? Yeah, actually, it does have kind of like a similar style to it, to The Walking Dead and what was the Wolfman? Wolfman, something Wolfman. Wolf Among Us? Yeah, The Wolf Among Us. It's got a similar style to those kind of games. Hey Lane, how you doing? And it's like a survival horror, similar to like Resident Evil. like what do you call it? Find ammunitions, health. Yeah, it's very pretty looking as well. Like, even if you're not a fan of horror, I think it's a very pretty looking game. Right. So the video we're going to be working on today, this is written by CL McClendon on the creepypasta.com site called White Christmas. We then read it a few days ago, and now we're going to be uploading this to hopefully Christmas, but it might be a tight squeeze if we're going to be able to make it on Christmas, so hopefully by the end of December we'll have this video uploaded. I like the music. Yeah, it's lo-fi radio. I like to put on lo-fi radio when I do these streams. Even if the thing I'm making doesn't quite fit the theme. Horror, mostly. It's still nice to have like a chill music. I wouldn't know what horror radio to put on. 2 days to Xmas. That's right, yeah. So, as much as I would like to get this done on Christmas, like it'll be a gift to all you guys, it might not make it on Christmas, but hopefully you'll be making it before New Year's. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when it comes to editing these stuff. Plus, if you sing it, it could be a horror radio. Okay. So, we're going to pretend we didn't read that, and we're going to get straight into editing. You know the gist of it if you've seen my older streams. We edit. It's alright, yeah. We edit the recording on the stream that we did, so that it sounds alright. And then when when we're done with that, we'll move on to either sound effects, music, and or pictures. Last time I did pictures first. I think that went pretty well. The only issue about finding pictures is that you need to find the right stuff on Google. And you need to be happy with it, and you have to make sure that it's not copyright claimed or it hasn't got no watermarks on it. Fun time. I don't know how it's going to work for this one, but we'll see. Music as well is going to be very interesting for this. I'm not sure how music's going to work for this. Poor Huss. So complicated. It honestly is. Seems easy for like some people. Maybe they're just like looking at it and thinking, I can do that. Just chop up some stuff, find some stuff, put it in there, jobs are good. Nah. Not when you want it to sound right. You know, I could be lazy and just be like, music. And just let it run until it's done. But I don't want to do that. I want to actually make it sound like it's part of what's going on. Same for the pictures. I'll cheat now and then. I'll have like a picture run for a really long time, but at least the picture comes well, not comes, but at least the picture fits what's going on. You know what I mean? I do the horse job well, because no other horse will. Just me. Just a talking horse. Alright, so let's have a look then. Let's see how we can work this out.
White Christmas, written by C.L. McClendon. Living in lower Alabama, we rarely receive snow. I spent most of my life wishing for a white Christmas that never came. I have only seen snow twice in my 32 years here. I always wanted to share that with my two boys.
Let's see how long this is as well. 20 minutes. So the raw cut of the reading is about 20 minutes. But I think about this point, that's when we would kind of like finish it up and talking about how we felt about the story itself. So it might even be shorter than 20 minutes. It might be 17 minutes. And all the mistakes have been made in there as well. So taking them out, there'll be about 15 minutes. So that's not bad. 15 minutes, roughly, is not bad. It's not the most hellish. It's not the longest of videos I've worked on, but we'll see how I'll go.
I just knew that they would love to play in it. Now, I find myself staring out my window at the mounds of that icy precipitation surrounding my home, regretting every wish I had ever made for a snow-covered Christmas. When I think about it, it really...
Let me chop that out.
For a snow-covered Christmas. When I think of...
Well, maybe not too much, though.
When I think of covered Christmas. When I think about it, it really started in summer. Our summers are always hot and extremely humid, but that year it was even more unbearable. We steadily saw temperatures of well over 100 degrees, and everyone I knew begged for a relief. The heat wave lasted all the way in for a relief. The heat wave The heat wave lasted all the way until the week before Halloween. Then suddenly, a massive hurricane spawned in the Gulf of Mexico. The weather forecaster for our local news frequently referred to it as a monster. Looking back, I would believe it was more of a demon that brought hell with it, but a much different one than I had read about in the Bible.
Yeah, so stuff like that will happen. I'm just checking if there was like any point in time where I say, can you do that again? So I'll say that.
The storm passed, leaving devastation from every...
No, okay. I let it go.
But a much different one than I had written. But a much different...
So... we'll use this.
A demon that brought hell with it. But a much different one than I...
Wait. That don't sound right.
But a
Really? That's how the story goes? Let me pull up the, a demon that brought hell with it, but a much different one than I read about in the Bible.
Looking back, I would believe it was more of a demon that brought hell with it, but a much different one than I had read about in the Bible.
Okay. I don't know, I was just expecting something else there instead. Mr. Hoof, I am so tired. How you doing, Mr. Zen? I'm sorry that you're feeling tired. Is work still getting to you, even though you took the day off? You took the day off, right? Pretty sure you did.
About in the Bible. The storm passed, leaving devastation for miles around. It had affected every state within the southeast, but Florida most of all. Help was sent from various utility companies, government aid agencies, and even regular citizens to help with the relief. And when I say various, I mean from every state in our region. It was amazing to see the effort put forth to help the people that had lost everything. I'm sure a lot of us thought that was the worst it could get. I wish that had been true, but that was when the rain started. Rain started.
Rain started.
As November came, we felt the first droplets in our tiny town. It was an odd occurrence, but not odd enough to raise any eyebrows. I mean...
Hold on, I'm gonna need to move this over here. Okay. Zen cat. Heck, it won't let me send it like that. Oh, did it detect like a spam? Zencation. Vacation Zencation. I think he's getting paid some amount for working on Christmas. So, as much as I would like him to take a break, this payment would actually help him quite a bit if he does work on that day. Nope, same pay. But Horse is helping with his horse string. I fill in the gaps that Zen cannot. Like if there's a hoof-shaped hole in the ground, I put my hoof in there.
As November came, we felt the first droplets in our tiny town. It was an odd occurrence, but not odd enough to raise any eyebrows. I mean, how bad could a couple days of rain be, right? The problem came when days turned into weeks and low-lying areas became flooded. Homes and towns nearby were washed away in a matter of hours once the levees broke.
I thought they would have had given you a time and a half for Christmas. Would you think so from a good company? But, I mean, I guess who's going to look after the kids, huh? Who's going to sort them out and who's going to travel them?
My wife Susan constantly thanked God that our house was nestled on a high elevation among trees. I found myself thinking the same thing, but God had nothing to do with what had happened. No God I could ever believe in any way.
Oh my, he just broke his fingers.
Believe in any way.
Oh, is that you drinking?
Yeah. I was just killing something, obviously.
He's even tricked me.
Oh, there was the bottle just popped. Anyway, the week of thanks could ever believe in any way. The week of Thanksgiving, my wife Susan constantly thanked God that our house was nestled on a high elevation among trees. I found myself thinking the same thing, but God had nothing to do with what had happened. No God I could ever believe in any way. The week of Thanksgiving, the rain finally subsided, and I'm sure that was something everyone would say they were thankful for.
What? Hold on. What? It automatical. We did the emojis. Sometimes I want emoticons, you know. Oh right. Yeah. I don't know how you do it, but I think there's somewhere in the settings that lets you like send just the text instead of an emoji. I don't know where it is though. Or how you do it on YouTube. It probably doesn't have anything to do with the computer itself.
The week of Thanksgiving, the rain finally subsided, and I'm sure that was some leaving anyway. The week of Thanksgiving, the rain finally subsided, and I'm sure that was something everyone would say they were thankful for. The problem was what remained was the cold. That in itself was not strange, but the severity... That in itself was not strange, but what remained was the cold. That in...
If I were to make a face, I'd add a dash for a nose. Hey, Moody! That's a clever idea, actually. Noses are bad? Joe Cool, you've got a big black circle for a nose. What are you talking about?
That in itself was... The problem was what remained was the cold. That in itself was not strange.
Oh, you said that twice. It was like the. Nah, that's my mouth. You're just constantly screaming.
Remained was the cold. That in itself was not...
No.
Cold. That in... was the cold. That in itself was not strange, but the severity of it was. Was the cold. That in itself was not strange, but the severity of it was.
Pikmin still have noses, just very small. Well, red Pikmins do. Always crying. Red Pikmins have noses. See? They have a red Pikmins have noses, but then you look at a yellow Pikmin, and they oh my god, what is that picture all about? What the fuck? All I typed in is yellow Pikmin. You guys don't want to know what I saw. Google, can we have a family-friendly filter for this? Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. Yeah. Red Pikmins. What's Wem, though? Is she a red Pikmin? I've seen many things, but a yellow Pikmin ain't one. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but trust me, it's not nice looking. I'm a purple Pikmin. You're big and strong. Hang on, I'm gonna look back and see if something bad went on stream. Okay, it's not an eggplant. It's not bad, but you can easily say it is. Just by looking at it. Well, why is that on a Google search image when I type in yellow Pikmin? Does blue Pikmin have something like that? Please, for the love of God. YouTube, just for the record, our channel was not influenced by that. We're not about that, and that is not our fault. Blue Pikmin's safe? Question mark. If I don't scroll down too much, it's safe. Why Pikmin of all things had to screw me over like that? I can't go back on stream, but I'm presuming Google did a Zen bad. It did a very bad. Not just a Zen bad, it did a very bad. I don't know how that's the first thing it looks up. It's not too bad. Oh no, yeah, I'm not saying it's awful. I'm not saying like our channel's doomed for showing that, but I didn't want to show more of it. It's like showing a glue factory. I don't want to show too much of it.
That in itself was not strange, but the severity of it was. We saw temperatures close to freezing for the following week, and that was something we rarely saw until late January or early February. My oldest son Jacob began singing that silly song by Bing Crosby. My oldest son early February. My oldest son Jacob began singing that silly song by Bing Crosby.
I must lurk the horse now. Bye. Y'all do the best. Alright, Elmer. Thank you for the lurk. It really just helped us. But please, if you have the time, pop back in and say hi. I've seen worse things in the school computers. Oh god. I think during my time in school, I think it was pretty tamed. I can't think of anything weird showing up on a computer. The only thing I could remember is I remembered I put in a USB in one of the laptops. And somehow that triggered a virus blocker or something, and it completely shut down the whole school server, so we couldn't use the computers anymore. We couldn't access our folders. I don't know how, even if it is me, but it's just it's such a timing when I put in the USB and suddenly it went off. I didn't have anything weird on it. It was just folders. Luckily, nothing was lost. But it was just funny to think that an entire server got shut down because I put in my USB.
My oldest son Jacob began singing.
You know how school computers have certain restrictions, so you can't do anything totally awful? Mm-hmm. And then there's there's websites that go around that. I think I remember there was one site called hidemyass.com. I don't know if it still works now, because this was years ago. I think schools' restriction things have gotten a lot better now. But I remember I used a website domain that would let you bypass it and go to the banned websites like Facebook. But one time I found a video there of some film, and it included a scene where they... What the fuck? On YouTube or... No, it can't be YouTube. Where did you find this? On a website that the school forgot to block? It was on YouTube. This must have been long ago. This must be around 2010. Do you remember that year, YouTube? 10 years ago? I remember that. I think back then they didn't have like bots serving it was a film. He did say film, yeah. 2017. I remember it was like it was yesterday. What the heck? God. Okay. Yes, though. Good times back then. Where everyone was desperate to go on Facebook. Not me. Even back then, I didn't really care for Facebook. I had one, and the only reason I made one is so I could play a fish game, where you can like look after a virtual fish pet. But that quickly died out. I think I remember when I actually stopped playing it. It was because I went on a holiday to a beach somewhere. I can't remember the name of the beach. Somewhere down south of England. And when I came back, all my fish was dead, because you need to keep feeding them every day. But I didn't have internet access back then. I didn't even really have a phone, so I didn't have like any way of like to feed them. I'm pretty sure back then we had iPhones that could connect to the internet. Or maybe we didn't. Either way, the fishes died, and instead of starting it, I just thought, well, I'm not going to go through all the effort. Just get the fishes back, just so it can happen again. So I kind of stopped.
That silly song by Bing Crosby. My wife beamed at the thought of them seeing snow on Christmas Day. The foolish child in me felt the same. The boys will finally get to see snow, Paul.
Paul.
The foolish child in me felt the same. The boys will finally get to see snow, Paul, Susan squealed. I know! I can't wait to see Tommy waddling in it, I responded. Those words ring in my head even now. I have to fight back tears when I think of just how stupid I had been. We were so preoccupied with setting up decorations and buying presents that we were oblivious to what was happening all around us. The snow actually started falling the first week of December. It was up several inches on the first day. It was amazing to see at first, but when it kept... Wait, hang on. It was amazing to see at first, but when it kept coming, some people became worried. If you have never been in the South when it snows, you probably would not understand. You see, we are not prepared for that kind of weather. Everything shuts down. People stay home and rarely go out driving. I know it sounds ridiculous to anyone else, but what? I know it sounds ridiculous to anyone else. I know it sounds... Driving. I know it sounds ridiculous to anyone else, but that is what happened. It just kept coming. My wife and I had let the boys play in the fresh powder originally, but when it had gotten so high that I could barely walk in it freely, we decided it was best to keep them indoors. Hardware stores had started bringing in snow shovels to help clear paths, something that you rarely found in our town. I bought one of the last... Oh, hang on. I bought one...
By the way, if you weren't here for the stream, this story can get pretty emotional. Like, it sounds pretty, like, tamed right now, but it can get pretty harsh.
I bought one of the last ones on the shelf as people scrambled to manage the icy foreign invader. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. As people scrambled to manage the icy foreign invader. I bought one of the last ones on the shelf as people scrambled to manage the icy ones on the shelf I bought one of the last ones on the shelf as people scrambled to manage the icy foreign invader. I bought one of the last ones on the shelf as people scrambled to manage the icy foreign invader. The situation seemed to become worse as small flurries town. I bought one of the last ones on the shelf, as people scrambled to manage the icy foreign invader. The situation seemed to become worse, as small flurries became near blizzards. My wife stayed...
Let me look at the story real quick. Yeah, it's a period there.
Vader.
So.
The situation seemed to become worse,
There we go.
as small flurries became near blizzards. My wife stayed glued to the news and weather broadcasts. It appeared the northern states had almost been buried in the frigid powder. The president had actually issued a state of emergency, urging people in the northern portion to evacuate south. That was when I finally started to be concerned. Urging people in the northern portion to evacuate south. That was when I finally started to be concerned. Evacuate south. That was when I finally started to be concerned. These people had been told to come south, but our situation was hardly any better. That was when I finally started
That doesn't sound right.
concerned. These people had been told to come south, but our situation was hardly any better. The weatherman stopped trying to be accurate. His predictions of an end to the madness never came.
Let me move the to subscribe thing somewhere else.
Those words ring in my head even now. I have to fight back tears when I think of just how stupid I had been. If you have never been in the South, I know it sounds ridiculous to anyone else, but that is... My wife and I had let the boys play in the fresh powder originally, but when it had gotten so high...
Where's the happy bits?
The boys will finally get to see snow, Paul, Susan squealed. I know! I can't wait to see Tommy waddling in it, I responded. Those words ring in my head even now. I have to fight back tears when I think of just how stupid I had been.
I didn't want like dark subjects, and then suddenly it says like.
Of an end to the madness never came. The temperatures continued to drop, and it was not long before we saw them go from 0 to negative digits. It was unheard of in my state for it to be that cold, and people were getting afraid. Plumbing fixtures began to burst from frozen pipes, and people were left without water until they could thaw. Our world had become a freezer in a few weeks, and none of us were prepared for it. My family found themselves wearing our thickest clothing even inside. It felt like no matter how high I set the thermostat, it was not enough. We should have left then. By Christmas, we should have... It was not enough. We should have left then. Not enough. We should have left then. It was not enough. We should have left then. By Christmas, we had no power. How high I set the thermostat, it was not enough. We should have left then. It's not enough. We should have left then.
It's not enough.
By Christmas, we had no power, and utility companies had stopped trying to traverse the harsh conditions to repair down lines. Local officials had abandoned emergency protocols to save themselves. We began hearing rumors of our neighbors attempting to head further south into Florida. Susan suggested the same, but I reminded her of the destruction still left from the hurricane. I was afraid we would be worse off without shelter. So, I made the decision to hunker down in our home. I cleared a path to the fireplace that had only been used for decoration and set to the task of getting a fire going. If it was not such a dire situation, my wife would have found amusement in me attempting something like that. I had never even seen someone use a fireplace, let alone light one. After several attempts, we were able to burn what little wood that was readily available near our home. My family and I huddled around it. Wait, hang on. My family and I huddled around it as if... My family and I... available near our home. My family and I huddled around it as if we were going to save us from the fate that waited outside. The whiteness had engulfed our home. The mounds had risen above the windows, breaking some of them. I was forced to reinforce each one to keep the cold out. We sealed every crack or crevice that could possibly let out the heat and We sealed was forced to reinforce each one to keep the cold out. We sealed every crack or crevice that could possibly let out the heat and tried to remain together. My wife wrapped our children in blankets and pulled them close. The boys did not understand, and we were afraid to tell them how serious the situation was. The fear that rested on my wife's face was enough to keep me from ruining what could be our last Christmas.
Yeah, I can already feel the emotions.
Could be our last Christmas. This is cool as fuck. This is a cool story.
Really, son?
Wait a minute. We still attempt. Could be our last Christmas. We still attempted to have a big dinner, despite our ability to effectively cook. I also learned how to cook within a fireplace for the first time. It would have been an interesting experiment if it had not been essential for our survival at the time. We gave up on the idea of turkey or ham, but we had always had a decent stock of canned food. It was a habit I had picked up from my grandparents. I often wondered how they were faring during all of this, but I had my immediate family to worry about. Our
He finishes the sentence. This could be our last Christmas. Man, this story's really cool, huh? Got some action, it's got some drama. I wonder how they're gonna get out of this. It is generally a interesting story. It's just if you can't like handle disaster films, like you see like a story about family losing hope or losing members, it's a tough story to read through. I won't lie. I can handle them pretty well, but even this is like gut wrenching. It's like hearing them saying that you don't want to ruin what could be their last Christmas. It's like, oof. Nobody should have a last Christmas.
But I had my immediate family to worry about. Our world had been plunged into an...
I had my immediate family to worry about. Yeah. Amaya wouldn't let me come upstairs. Amaya. Uncle Zen needs to get back to the stream. How is she?
I had my immediate family to worry about. Our world had been plunged into an end. Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of my immediate family to worry about.
What's this story called? I'd love to read it on my own time to see if I get any emotions from it. It's called White Christmas. I can give you I'll send a link to you on Discord. Where are you? Why can I not find you? There you are. I'll be linking this story to when we upload the video ourselves. But anyone who's watching this and they want to read it for yourself, it's called White Christmas on creepypasta.com. For some reason, the URL, it says White Christmas 2. But from what I know, there's no sequel or prequel to this. I don't know where the 2 comes in. Maybe it was a mistake. or maybe like this is a redone.
Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of white.
Oh, he choked my spit. Here's what I think the story reminds me of. It reminds me of a film called The Day After Tomorrow. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it or seen it. It's about when New York experiences a ice age of some kind. Like just this vicious blizzard comes in and it starts burying New York City with like ice and snow, and people outside, or like anyone who doesn't have like any sort of like heat source, like a fire, they find themselves freezing to death. And I remember a poster. Let me see if I can find that poster real quick. Yeah. This. Oh, hang on. Let me find a better quality. Yeah. So, just all this snow coating like the city. Like these are supposed to be like huge towers, skyscrapers even. Here's the Empire State Building, which is like the tallest tower they got. And this is nearly meeting it from the very top. This is what this story reminds me of. Just seeing like a huge place be buried under snow and ice. Poster looks pretty. It looks pretty itself. Yeah, from like. There is like some sort of like beauty in this disaster. It's snow, you know. It's like this beautifully coated white snow and ice just sparkling, but it's deadly. Like, I remember in the movie there was a part in the film where there was just there was just like this wave of blizzard that was slowly creeping up on them. Well, not even like a blizzard, it was more like a frost. And the main characters, they saw it coming, and the first thing they saw, I think they saw this, they saw the US flag like flying in the breeze, but then it slowly started to slow down and then freeze right there and then. That's when they knew that if they didn't get to a warmer source right now, they'd probably freeze to death in an instant. I thought that was really cool. And scary, but cool to a kid. When did this come out, actually? I know I was really young when this happened. 2004. 16 years ago. I would have been 10. I would have been 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old when this movie came out. You were 2. Jesus Christ. It's a interesting film. Don't know if any of these guys, any of you guys remember them. I don't, but I'm not really good at remembering people's names. But yeah, it's Elsa. How fitting. In a film about snow, we've got Elsa. That's what it reminds me of, though, this story. Like when in the story it mentioned how like the snows were so high that it's covering the windows. I imagine it's doing that to like skyscrapers and statues. Actually, speaking of statues, there's the Statue of Liberty. Like, there's her head and there's her hand, and the snow's just up there. And, like, if you know New York, you would know that between the city and the statue, there is a giant lake. Or not even a lake, it's the sea. And that's gone. Paris. I don't know why Paris is there. I don't think Paris shows up in the film. Sydney? These are just promotionals, probably. There's frozen dolls scattered around my town centre. It feels ominously religious for some reason. They want you to build a snowman, Anna Moody. That's just the vibe I got from it. Come on, let's go out and play. London. Big Ben. Yeah, no, these Tokyo Tower. Yeah, I don't think in the film they show other locations, and I don't think there's been a sequel to this. I think it all takes place in New York. I'm sure, like, the whole world is being engulfed in it, but the story takes place in New York. Worst part was Olaf, actually. He had these really beady eyes and he just stared into your soul. Great. He's a huggable snowman. He loves hugs.
Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of white. I even had a nightmare of the stuff that Christmas Eve. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I even had a nightmare of this stuff. Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of white. I even had a nightmare of... Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of white. I even had a...
Oops.
Sea of white. Endless sea of white. I
like it when Zem breathes to say his next line. To be or not to be? That is the question.
Our world had been plunged into an endless sea of white. I even had a nightmare of this stuff that Christmas Eve. They shouldn't have said stuff. I don't know. Kind of ruins the flow. Do you agree?
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah. I feel like
I think the comma needs to be put after the
they should have said situation. My children. Whatever. My children.
Whatever. Eh. Wait, whoa, I think we need that bit.
I even had a Christmas Eve.
I have that issue with my mic too, Lama. Too much breathing and mouth smacking. To be fair, I can't really blame the mic for that. It's just trying to do what it's supposed to design to do. Pick up noise. Although, like, I see channels like Markiplier and I watch a YouTuber called Vinesauce. They sound crystal clear, yet they don't have that issue where there's breathing and mouth smacking. Now I know Vinesauce, he uses a headphone, I think. Yeah, I think he uses a headset and he uses the mic on that. So I think his headset just doesn't have a problem when it comes to mouth breathing, because it's away from the mouth. But I don't know how Markiplier does it. Like, you see him in the videos and you just see, like, his face just covered in the mic. Like, he's almost, like, kissing it. And yet, there's no problem when he speaks through it.
My children normally woke me early on Christmas morning, but when my eyes fluttered open, I assumed it was still night. The house was so dark that I could barely see my wife lying next to me. I slowly rose from my bed, still completely clothed, and nudged Susan awake. The house had... You guys are...
Oh, this is, you can see this is end there, but this is when it gets a bit dark in the story.
The house was so dark that I could barely...
Yeah, I mean, the house is dark too, but...
The house had... You guys are... My children normally... I slowly rose from my bed, still completely clothed, and nudged Susan awake. The house was... Susan awake. Susan awake. Susan awake. The house was... Susan awake. Okay.
Okay.
Susan awake. Susan awake. Susan awake. The house was so dark that I could barely see my wife lying next to me. I slowly rose from my bed, still completely clothed, and nudged Susan awake.
Wait, we already did this bit, didn't we? I'm so lost right now. Ika! How you doing, my friend? Probably because of his environment, because he had a room with walls covered in noise-reducing things. True, that is very true. He does have noise reduction panels, or whatever they're called. I would actually like to have them, because I do have one issue with my room. I live right next to my mum's room, and these walls are very thin. And as I speak, she's asleep. So I would like to not wake her up. I think if I had those foams, it'd probably help. Because, like, my voice is bouncing off all the rooms, you know. And with how thin our walls are, I think they're, like, either the thin or hollow. Right next to me, actually, there's a chimney. And that's definitely hollow. So all the noise is going to go through that. It's going to go through the ceiling, you know, it's going to go through the support beams and all that, and it's going straight to her room, and she's going to hear everything I'm saying. Remember my best trade I made yesterday? I beat it this morning. Nice! How much did you make? 85%. Nice. Awesome job, Ika. Too bad they're expensive, though. Yeah, I've heard eggshells. No, I've heard egg trays do the same effect, but I'm not gonna start covering my walls in in egg cartons.
My children normally woke me early on Christmas morning, but when my eyes fluttered open, I assumed it was still night. The house was so dark that I could barely see my wife lying next to me. I slowly rose from my bed, still completely clothed, and nudged Susan awake. The house had become far colder than it should have, completely clothed, and nudged Susan awake. Clothed and nudged Susan awake. The house had become far colder than it should have been, and I...
DIY horse, exactly! You could glue egg cartons to flatten cardboard and put it against a wall. Yeah, like, that's what I said, yeah. But I don't think I want to do that. I mean, as effective that is, I will also have to be looking at it. And it would probably make me feel sad that I'm covering my walls in recyclable cartons. Maybe there's a charm to it, or maybe some people just won't mind, but I think I would mind. You know, there's got to be some level of like decency to what I see, even if it is only just me. Oh god, Wem, what the hell? I can't put those on my wall, period, because my wall have a specific pattern on them, which makes the spiky, makes them spiky almost. I forget the name of the style though. Spiky. Well, mine is. How can I put it? It's like. Well, mine's bumpy too. Mine's bumpy wallpaper. I mean, the one reason why I can't do it though is the sticking things in the wall. I can't do that because it would tear the wallpaper off if I need to move them or something. So I can't do that. If my wall were like plywood, maybe, or if one side of my wall works and I could maybe put nails on it. Because I know I've got one side of the wall I can actually put nails on. Maybe. But I don't know if that would be enough. I think I would need it. I would need to have soundproofing in front of me as well. So then it's not bouncing all over the place. Because I'm talking to you right in front of me and a little bit to the side. So I would have to put soundproofing on that side. Be right back though, guys. I'm gonna do something real quick.
The house had become far colder than it should have been, and I immediately headed for the fireplace. The fire had gone out at some point, so I ran back. No, wait, hang on. So I ran for the back door, the fireplace. The fire had gone out at some point, so I ran back. No, wait, hang on. So I ran for. The fire had gone out at some point, so I ran for the back door, pulling on my boots. My aim was to gather more boots. So I ran for the back door, pulling on my boots. My aim was to boots. Pulling on my boots. On my boots. On my boots. My aim was to gather more wood to get the fire going again, but as soon as the door cracked open, I was pelted with a mixture of snow and ice. It stung my face, and I cursed at the door while trying to shut it again. Our home had been buried in the vicious powder, and I finally understood why no light permeated the windows. My watch read 9 o'clock, but it felt much earlier.
Can you do that again?
Sure. Light permeated the windows. Our home had been buried in the vicious powder, and I finally. My aim was to gather more wood to get the. It stung my face, and I cursed at. Our home had been buried in the vicious powder, and I finally understood why no light permeated the windows. Our home had been buried in the vicious powder, and I finally understood why no light permeated the windows. Again. It stung my face, and I cursed at the door while trying to shut it again. Our home had been buried in the vicious powder, and I finally understood why no light permeated the windows. My watch read 9 o'clock, but it felt much earlier. Read 9 o'clock, but it felt much earlier. Susan stumbled into the living room, asking what I was doing. I told her what time it was, and confusion filled her eyes. She went for the window and was greeted with what I already knew. I do not remember ever seeing her quite so afraid, and the feeling was mutual. I buried my emotions down, though, knowing I had to be strong for my family. I told her to go check on the kids while I tried to get the fire going again. She disappeared down the hall, and I made my way to the dining room. The table and chairs had been passed down through my family for generations.
I've been talking to myself the entire time. Thanks, Wem. I didn't realize the mic was muted. Damn it. I was talking to you guys so much. Alright, let's recap. I came back and I said, you know what I really like? Okay, hang on, let me slow down. Okay. I was talking about soundproofing. No problem, Horsey. Thanks, man. Hi, Ricky. Hi, William. How you all doing? Thank you all for coming by. I was saying about the soundproofing thing. One thing I would really like is a like a mount for my mic. Because right now, one problem I have with where my mic is it's on my table. It's on the same desk that I use my keyboard and mouse on. And I have sometimes my friends telling me that they can hear thumping noises coming from my end, and it's when I'm typing on my keyboard. So I would honestly would like something to elevate it. I don't know, maybe like a clamp or maybe some sort of box that the mic can sit on. So then when I'm typing, you won't hear the thumping noise. That's something I would like to improve my work area, I think. Problem is though, I don't know if a clamp would work because it needs to be on my wall. There's no room on the floor, or there is room, but then I would make it difficult for myself to move around. What mic is it again? It is a Blue Yeti Snowball mic. It's one of the cheaper mics that have a really good quality at the price that it is. Zen's got a much more better blue mic. He's got the Yeti. That's the one he uses, and that one's actually on a stand, I guess you can call it. That one's on a stand, so it's like kind of like hovering over his face. Oh, you have it too? It's nice. It's cute looking too. It's like a little ball with the word blue on it. But it's sitting on my desk. So what I would want to do is find a way that it can be off the desk, but still near enough to me where I can actually communicate. I would like to have some kind of like clamp or stand or some kind of box to have it sit on. Used it today when we played. Really? Honestly, the way you I don't know what you use. Maybe your phone. The way you spoke to us, it sound just the same. I'm presuming it's a phone. In which case, that phone's very good. Where did y'all play? Fortnite. I used to talk with my headset. Oh, you use a headset? It's a very good headset. It makes you sound really clear. But the mic is also making you sound pretty clear too. An Astro A10. Not heard of that one. I use a Sennheiser. I don't know what model it is. I just know it's a Sennheiser. I've had these headphones for a very long time now. I'm a clear horsey. I am. It's when I type. It's the problem. When I'm typing on my keyboard, you guys can hear thumping noises. I know, because when I'm casually typing to someone, but I'm in a call with someone as well, they're wondering like, what the hell is that noise? And I'm like, that's me. Those are good brands. They are. They're very good. The headset I got was about £80, which is dear, but I've had these headsets for about 5 years now, and they still work just fine. The only thing I need to replace was the foam around the earpiece. It was starting to peel away, and that's the only thing I had to replace is the foam. I only need to replace it once. I just don't type, ever. Great. Thanks for the input. Maybe it's not the mic that needs levitating. Maybe it's not the mic that needs elevating. Maybe it's the keyboard that needs elevating. Fortnite, I stopped playing it because it's boring and all the maps changes really ruined it. I love the OG map. I've not played the original when it first came out, I mean. I've seen it. I've seen people talk about it. I've seen trailers of it. I've even seen the old logo of it when it was called Battle Royale with the dog tags and the green border around it. Elevate the horsey. Ascend. I've seen all that, Fortnite stuff, but just like when a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Fortnite's a meme," Fortnite's boring, Fortnite's for children. I kind of was on that wagon, despite never touching the game, and honestly, I kind of regret not playing it. I've regretted not playing the first season. You played on the second season, first chapter. Yeah, that I missed out. And I'm kind of like a completionist kind of person, where I like to have everything I could possibly have. Although saying that, when I first played Fortnite, I would have been okay not buying the Battle Pass. I would have been okay getting just the free stuff. But then, someone gave me Battle Pass, so now I could get all the stuff. I always said I'd never play it. Exactly, that's what I said. I was like, it's not for me. Like, Royale games are not for me. I will say, I think Royale games aren't for me. I don't intend playing PUBG. I don't intend playing Warzone, Apex. What else is there? You know, I don't intend playing those kind of game modes. But Fortnite now, and back then when I first saw it, it just looked charming. I like the art style. I like the silliness of it, like the goofiness. Like all those other games I was just talking about, excluding Apex, they take very serious. You know, they're all like boots on the ground, guns in the air, and rockets flying everywhere. And while that does happen in Fortnite, it's happening with something like Batman fighting Deadpool riding on a unicorn that's got his mask on, as little blue glob dudes come out using shotguns, being assisted by Wolverine. You know, that sort of mayhem you don't see in Call of Duty or in PUBG. Now, I know in some of those games they have like maybe a movie tie-in character. I know Call of Duty Warzone has Jigsaw from Saw and Chainsaw Massacre guy. But that's nothing compared to what Fortnite's got. I mean, Fortnite's got fucking Master Chief and Kratos now. Like, what game can say they got that? Smash Brothers is the only other game I can think of that has like an ambitious crossover of like kookiness and goofiness. And I love Smash Brothers. Well, now I'm no longer a Fortnite, but I'm the Rocket Leaguer. Do you think a mic stand that connects to the desk would have the same issue? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what will stop the shaking. Ooh, not stop the shakiness, but I just need some way for the thumping noise to not be picked up on my mic, I guess. And I think the issue is that it's on the desk instead of somewhere else. Sea of Thieves looks good too. Sea of Thieves does look good, yeah, it does look good. And it's made by Rare. And I've heard a lot of good things about it too. Not at launch, but I've heard a lot of good things now. Not my kind of game, still. It's still not my kind of game. Don't leave out the Walking Dead characters and now recently the Predator. Yeah, you know, like, they're going out their way to get as much craziness into Fortnite, and I like that. I like how it's got character to it, you know, it's got a goofy nature to it that you can identify. Just like Smash Bros. Has an identity among other fighting games. Not saying that the other fighting games are bad, but I think the way that Smash Bros. Does it with its characters and its gameplay, it definitely stands out from the group. That makes me want to get it, despite not being a fighter kind of guy. I'm not into like Street Fighting or Mortal Kombat or Capcom versus Marvel. I'm not into that sort of stuff. Or Tekken. I used to play Tekken. I can enjoy watching them, but I'd rather not play them. But Smash Bros is an exception. Same thing for like Fortnite. Battle Royale games. I'm not a fan of it. Call of Duty, Warzone, whatever. Apex, fine enough game, but whatever. But Fortnite, something about it I just like. Even if I'm not going to be able to play all these characters, I just appreciate seeing these characters in the game and seeing the colourful nature of it. Sea of Thieves also has Master Chief as a ship skin. Was it like a bullfrog? But in my opinion, since the free-to-play update, Rocket League blew up with players, definitely. Make your game free-to-play and it's gonna explode. And Rocket League is already a great game. You know, it already showed that it can be a great sports game when it first came out. I've had plenty of friends ask me if I was going to get it, and I've had one friend who did get it from me. But sadly, it's just not my kind of game. I can't get behind sport games. I like driving games. Burnout is probably my most beloved game series. Burnout 3 Takedown being the absolute top game for me. But Rocket League, I don't know. I just can't get behind the football mechanics. Or the soccer mechanics. Just read the story there, and wow, can see why some people will have a hard time digesting it. Definitely, this is a very rough story. And I was actually gonna say before I realized my mic was muted. Thank you, Wen. I was gonna say, I think it would be better if I skip this bit, because I feel like some of you guys might not be able to take this very well. What's gonna come up now? I've done creepypasta videos in the past, like Bunnyman Bridge, Krampus, what's it called? The Native American one. That watches from the shadows, or listens from the shadow. I had no problem showing those. Like, they're just like good old scary stories that you tell at campfire night. But this one, I think, if you could take the words from it, you could probably make a short film out of it. And it gets pretty sad. Like, emotionally sad. So I think I'm going to spare you guys the details until the full upload. And I'm going to avoid a part of this. Consider it a spoiler. I just don't think some of you are ready. So I'm gonna keep playing until I know what's gonna happen, and then I'm gonna skip that bit until it's sort of like it's kind of a safe zone. What I like about it is that watching the Rocket League Championship on Twitch, there were drops possibly to win. Oh yeah, I love Twitch's drop mechanic. I love the idea of like being able to participate in streams and then getting in-game rewards for the games that you do. I got in Among Us, I got Jeff Kaplan's mask, which everyone loves. Everybody loves it when I wear the Jeff Kaplan face. And the Twitch pet, Glitchy. I've got the Twitch pet that follows me around just by watching streams, and I really like that. I really like being able to like just relax, watch a stream of whether it's the Game Awards or a new streamer, and like not only just be able to enjoy watching them, but also get rewarded for watching them. I think it's a really neat idea. I think YouTube did it one time when they did the Overwatch League streams. I think they did it one time. I can't remember how it worked. I think it just worked the same way. You just watched it, stay active as you're watching the stream, and you would get in-game rewards. But yeah, it's really nice that they let people do that. It's really nice that they reward people for putting the time to watch someone else stream a game that they enjoy or a genre that they enjoy and get something out of it. It would be pretty neat if we could get something like that happening. Like if we could enable drops on Twitch for something like Among Us. Although I would imagine chat would be hectic. We'll think about that.
Susan stumbled into the living room, asking what I was doing. I told her what time it was, and confusion filled her eyes. She went for the window and was greeted with what I already knew. I do not remember ever seeing her quite so afraid, and the feeling was mutual. I buried my emotions down, though, knowing I had to be strong for my family. I told her to go check on the kids while I tried to get the fire going again. She disappeared down the hall, and I made my way to the dining room. The table and chairs had been passed down through my family for generations, but I knew it would have to be sacrificed. I set to dismantling the wooden chairs first, but was stopped by the sound of my wife's scream. Oh shit, this is fucking creepy now.
Yeah. I think that would be the point
Scream.
where I will skip some of this. I don't know when this... I don't know when this will actually, like, end. I'm just gonna check the story real quick to see how it goes. You've got a few paragraphs talking about that scene. Oh yeah, I see 3 of them so far. Okay. Yeah, oof. I think maybe here?
I lost track of how...
I lost track. Okay, I think one paragraph behind it is okay. Wait. Actually, no, I'll start here. I think this is an okay bit for you guys. Jesus Christ, that is just nothing but emotional roller coaster. That is just nothing but emotions and sadness. That alone could work into a film. Have you guys ever watched Up from Disney, Pixar? The very beginning bit when you see the life of Carl and Ellie. Is it Ellie? I hate myself for not fucking remember her name. His wife. That snippet alone, I think, is like what's happening in that paragraph right there. That snippet alone is like this, but worse. You could probably make a film just off that paragraph and make it in some sort of style like that. How long is this? 5 minutes, I think. 9, 14. Yeah. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of just, ooh, hardness. I warn you, when this is done, be prepared for that bit.
I lost track of how long I sat there, or when I decided to come back to the fire. I do remember when I started burning the Christmas gifts and how hard a choice that had been. I opened each one slowly and savored the idea of the children playing with it for the first time.
Even that alone is sad. Burning Christmas gifts? Like, fucking heck. I can see why something like that would work. Yeah.
I could even see Susan standing over them with her camera in hand. She would be giving her biggest smile and snapping away to save each memory. She loved taking pictures, but when I had to do what? She loved taking pictures. She loved taking pictures.
Which one do I like more, that or this?
She loved taking pictures, but what?
I think I like the first one, because that one sounds like it's... like she loves taking pictures. Pause. The pause is effective.
Memory. She loved taking pictures, but what I had to do did not taking pictures. But what I...
Wait, do I still have the Franken? Yes, I do have the Frankenstein.
Pictures. But what I...
It's not the Frankenstein, but I Frankenstein it into the to this bit.
Taking pictures. But what I had to do did not need to be captured on any sort of film. I started to feel the numbness that night. Hang on. I started to feel the
There's no choice I could do that. It has to be this.
Captured on any sort of film. I started to feel the numbness that night. That same numbness that overtook Susan earlier that day. It was as cold as the snow that surrounded me, and all I could think was, this had been my fault.
That sounded like Zen stuttering a lot. I'll give him credit. He just read a story before this one, so I think he was probably getting pretty dry from reading so much. I know I do. I read I have a Harry Potter book with me, and I was reading it last night. And just 2 chapters in, my throat was already getting pretty sore from reading all of that. I like to read out loud, and it did make me dry, so I can't blame Zen from stumbling a bit there. But it came out well, so we don't need to like redo it or anything. I just need to take out all the mistakes. Hey Tiff, how you doing? Thank God I skipped that one part. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin? What are you? Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff. Hufflehorse. Hufflehorse. It should have been a horse. Why isn't it a horse? Why is it got to be a boar? Just imagine, like, you got the 4 animals of the Hogwarts house. You got the lion. You got the eagle. Well, sorry, not the eagle. The raven. You've got the snake, and you got the horse. Oh my God, Tiff, the puns. Hoofahorse. Hufflehorse. Hoofahorse. Peter Gryffindor. Sorry, I'm done. How is everyone? Nay pasta. I am not a nay pasta. We're doing fine. How are you doing, Tiffany? How is your day going?
Numbness that night. That same numbness that overtook Susan earlier that day. It was as cold as the snow that surrounded me, and all I could think was, this had been my fault. Sure. It was as cold.
Yeah, I asked him to redo that bit.
I started
It was as cold.
I lost track, but what I had to do.
Wait, when is this at?
It was as cold as the snow that surrounded me, and all I could think was that earlier that day. It was as cold as the snow.
Here we go. Okay. Perfect. Sleeping schedule is totally flipped for a deadline. Lol, but I'm fine. Damn. Yeah, sorry about that, Tiff. I hope you get that deadline done soon, so that we can sort that out. Because it feels like I'm only going to be able to talk to you at night time now. We're working on the winter story right now. I had to skip this bit because I think it might be a bit too much right now. I got my trading balance back to $1K. Hey, you're making the money. Went from 1K to 250, back to 1K. Write that down in the history books. That's an impressive bounce. If it's just because of me, please don't skip. Oh no, this was way before you joined us, Tiff. I felt like this is gonna be too much for some people. I don't know who. But this is hard stuff to read. So, I'm not gonna leave it on the video, of course. I'm gonna be working on that off stream. But I will, in fact, hang on, I'm gonna put myself a reminder here for the next time if I ever do stream this. Don't play on stream for the love of hoof. Yeah, so end of don't play on stream. I hope you're reading this. Pause. Yeah, so it's going to be in the final video. Don't you worry about that. But I think I'm just going to skip this for the stream right now. Yeah, like Moody said, it's gut-wrenching. Even for me, who can handle this sort of stuff, I think disaster films are okay. You know, I've watched like The Final Destination, Day After Tomorrow, Twister. That was a bad film, but I think I can handle myself when it comes to those sort of subjects. But reading this story and hearing Zen read it out loud, even himself in this recording itself, he said it himself, this is depressing. Oh, it's still in there. I can't leave it out in the video. It wouldn't make sense. And this is 3 paragraphs of emotional roller coaster. This is a roller coaster of emotion. Seriously, coming from Zen. Yeah, he was saying it himself that this was getting pretty dark. Not dark as in, like, this is, like, unnecessarily evil or cruel, but it hits home for some people, I believe. Not in the same way, but in a sort of, like, horrible imagery in your head. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do this as a visual. I'm not sure how I'm going to picture all this. I didn't tear up from it, but just left a void in me, like I shouldn't be... Yeah. It makes you feel... Not gross. No, not gross. Empty. Not even empty, but like... It's hard to explain it. It's nothing like... bad. But I think... Here's a good example. I think after you read this, you probably want to hug someone. I think that's the best way I can probably put it. I think you want to hug someone from this. It's depression. Not gore, but depression. It felt super personal, is what I'm saying. Yeah, the best way I can describe it is after you've finished reading this, you probably want to hug someone. To have that sort of like security that everything's fine. I'm probably like overselling this, but I said it myself not too long ago. This bit alone, well, not alone, maybe some bits over here too, but this bit would make a great film. It would make a great short film, like maybe a 10-minute long film or a 15-minute long film or 30-minute, I don't know, but like however short films are, how long they are, that bit would be really good for a film. Gotta say though, the writing in this story is beautiful. It is. It's well paced. I think it delivers it. It built it up to something that you wasn't expecting, especially from a creepypasta. Remember, this is on a creepypasta site. Someone wrote this as a creepypasta story, and it came off as being a more sorrow sort of story. There's no like killer. There's no monster. There's no satanic spirit. You know, there's no ghosts. There's no voodoo witch. There's no werewolf. There's no bunny man wearing a suit. It's just nature being nature and people trying to survive it. It's just real life. I don't do dark things in general, so yeah, it's definitely alarming to hear this. You going AFK? Alright. Kudos for editing something like this. Oh, like I said, this sort of stuff I'm okay with. It is hard. I won't lie, it's not easy. But I'm not put off by it, if that makes any sense. I'm not in that sort of like stage where I'm like, you know, I can't do this, guys. I can't make this video. Like, it's too much. You know, I'm not gonna be like that. I will finish this video. But for the sake for you guys, I think it would be best if I save this for the upload. If I ever come back to streaming this, I will try to avoid that bit as much as possible. It's not going to be easy, because I think I will need to actually look at it and play it to get like an idea of what I need to show. But for you guys, it's better if you wait. It's very realistic. It's a very realistic thing that could happen, which is the scariest thing. This story, if you guys ever seen or heard it, it reminds me of The Day After Tomorrow. I've already shown this on stream for some people here, like Moody. But if you guys have ever heard of Day After Tomorrow, it's like this subject. Like seeing humanity take on a natural disaster. That's what the story is mostly about. This sort of film. Just don't show yellow Pikmin. Do not Google yellow Pikmin. There is one image on there that I'm shocked that Google lets you see. It's on stream, sadly. I can't like get rid of it. Unless like there's like an editing feature in YouTube that I can like black out. I would love to black it out, but I can't. It is not for sensitivities. Tiff saying what? Trust me, you don't want to see it. I just want to see some Pikmins, yeah? I just wanted to see a yellow Pikmin, compare it to the red Pikmin's nose, and show that the yellow Pikmin doesn't have nose, it has ears. But of course, someone has to draw an image of the yellow Pikmin in that way, and Google's like, yeah, let's show people this when they search yellow Pikmin. Unbelievable. And obviously Wemily has to remind me about it on Discord. I looked up blue Pikmin. It's safe if you don't scroll down. Should I Google it myself? I'm curious. Or would I be scarred? I would say brace yourself for it, if you can see it. I would say brace for yourself. It's not something that would get the channel banned, but it's not pleasant. It's not something you'd want to see every day. It's not even something you want to see one time. So if you do Google this, and I pray for your health, brace for yourself when you do see it. No. It's not gory. It's not like terrifying or horrifying, but it's Have you ever went to the beach, or have you ever went to like a hot place and you seen a fat man without a top on? And you want to look away, but you can't for some reason. Like, for some reason you just need to see why this guy is topless. That's what the image was. Let's just say Nintendo wouldn't approve. Now, I'm not judging. You know, I'm not judging. That image, if someone likes that sort of stuff, fine by me. I'm just a bit upset that Google has that as like one of the first few search results. Oh no, Tiff. Here's what's gonna happen now. Tiff's gonna search it up and it's not there, and she's gonna think we're weird. Watch. I bet you, because I'm from the UK, I get a different search result. It's like 10% of UK people have Googled this. Oh, thanks. Now I know what our country's up to.
It was as cold as the snow that surrounded me, and all I could think was that this had been my fault. I should have escaped with my family when I still had the chance. I do not know if it was pride, ignorance, or both, but the guilt was too much. It consumed me and took away everything this holiday was supposed to be about. I started writing this in hopes that someone reads it. I do not know what has happened to the rest of the world, only what has happened to me. I do not know how long I can survive here. My food is running low, supposed to be it. I do not know what it...
Hang on.
It consumed me and took away everything this holiday was supposed to be about.
I'm gonna Frankenstein this bit. I feel like a longer pause is necessary. Maybe not that long. Is it the Super Size Me one? Besides that, I don't see any Super Size Me one. Honestly, I'll say this. I don't actually remember what it looked like. All I know is it did not look pleasant. It was not the yellow Pikmin I was expecting.
Supposed to be about. I started writing this in hopes that someone reads it. I do not know what has happened to the rest of the world, only what has happened to me. I do not know how long I can survive here. My food...
Okay, Tiff. Don't worry, guys. This ain't gonna show up on stream. I'll make sure of it. This is important. It's very important. It's for the sake of humankind. And horsekind. And pigment kind. Specifically the yellow one. Specifically the yellow kind. Because that image, I think, would make Yellow Pigman Tim cry. Timmy the Yellow Pigman. Please do not see this image. Timmy the Yellow Pigman. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I don't think it's that one you were describing. Moody, did you did you search it up too?
Food is running low, and I have run out of things to burn. I cannot even say for certain how long I have been here since my watch has stopped turning, and I still cannot see the sun. I think I will try to dig myself out tomorrow, and if you do find this, no, I did not simply give up. I just wish I had done this sooner. I am so sorry, Susan, Jacob, and Tommy. You deserve better than this. I hope you can forgive me. Sincerely, Paul Richardson.
That's it. Still doing an annoying freaking excitement? Damn, Zen. I need the satisfaction of knowing what eyes have seen that cannot be unseen. Oh shit, Tiff sent it to me. No, but that is equally horrifying. Why is this in Google search? I like how you read scary stories, but you're also making us dance. Yes, I am. He loves to dance. How you doing, Lightning? Hang on. I want to see it before my curiosity. What? Oh, you don't know what it is? Do you actually want to see it, Moody? I don't think you want to see it. Count me out. Don't you worry, Ricky. I'm not gonna let you see this. It's the first fucking result for me. I'm shocked that it's up there. It's a Twitter reply, by the way. Not a reply, sorry, but like a tweet. Yes, I've seen things. I'm okay with it. Alright. You're gonna make Timmy the Yellow Pigman sad. Huge one. As I said, I kind of like glanced at it and forgot about it, but now that it says ship again, horror, guys, horror flooded back to me when I saw it. It makes Timmy the Yellow Pigman sad. Knowing that that image exists on Twitter. Knowing that it's the first result on Google. For the UK, apparently. Oh God, help us, Timmy the Yellow Pigman, please help us. Please do not cry. Did I? Oh, I deleted the song. What is wrong with me? It was the 7th for me. Well, yeah, I think it was 7th for me too, or whatever place it was. But the fact is, you can't hide it. You'd have to scroll down to see more to hide it. It's like 3 rows down for me. Whatever the case is, it's there. I am sorry for any Pikmin fans out there who want to see their favorite hero, the yellow Pikmin, on Google Image. I know that you would love to have yellow Pikmin as your wallpaper, but I'm afraid to say that that image exists. Trust me, I think it's for all the colours of the Pikmin. I think blue had it too. I've seen something very bad for blue Pikmin too. That at least I had to scroll down to find though. I'll give it that. I'll give Google that. You have to scroll down to see that one. But this yellow one is there. It's right there. I never grew up with Pikmin, so it doesn't bother me too much. Oh, I didn't either. Trust me. Did I ever get Pikmin game? I think I did. I think I got 2 on the Wii U. I think I got Pikmin 2 on the Wii U, but I never touched it. I do want to give it a shot because they're cute. I'm honestly kind of surprised that I don't like. Well, no, not like it, but I'm surprised I haven't actually given it a try. Cause like it's like a Commander game, you know, like Age of Empires or Red Alert. I like them games. It's just like you kind of have to do it on the ground with you. I think. I actually don't know why I don't play it. Maybe I should play it. That's the thing. Maybe I should try it. Instead of like saying I may not like it, I should just try it. I'll see about it. I can't stream it, obviously, because it's on the Wii U and I don't have a capture card. And my Wii U's downstairs. So, even if I did have a capture card, it's gonna be a... it's gonna be impossible for me to record. I've got GameCube too, so I could get the first one at some point. When is Pikmin Switch coming out again? I think it's already out, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's out. I know the demo's out, but I'm pretty sure Pikmin 3 is already out. I recommend, if you have a Switch, I recommend downloading Pikmin 3 and seeing how you think about it from there. I had a sorted version of Pikmin for the Wii U. For a Wii U Me game. Do you mean Nintendo Land? I know there's a Pikmin game on that. It's not the same. It's more like a fun minigame version of it. I say fun loosely because Nintendo Land didn't do so well. Although I don't say it because it's a bad game. I think it just wasn't... It was fun, but I think it could have lasted longer. I think they need to add more to it. They should have made it DLC, really. Or, not DLC, but they should have, like, continuously updated it. Similar to, like, how they do with Animal Crossing or Splatoon. They should have kept adding more and more to it. Only Pikmin I know is from Smash Brothers. Pikmin Switch isn't out yet. It's not. Oh, I thought it was. The demo is out. I know that for sure because I played it. I played the demo. It's the only one I actually tried out. I could never understand how Olimar worked. Although, recently I think I've tried Olimar in Ultimate. And I think the best way I can do it is that I hope I get a purple Pikmin and just throw it at the enemies. Okay, I've lost the song. I don't need a song for this bit. No, I don't need the Christmas song for this. Especially when it ends like that. I don't need a song. I'm fine with not having the jingle. So... Okay, so obviously I can't play this because don't play on stream for the love of hoof, and end of don't play the stream. I hope you're reading this voice. So... I guess I should start on the pictures now. I don't know how I'm gonna do this though, guys. No, Christmas song. My brain's kind of fried right now, so I need a bit of time to think about this. Should I do it on stream, or should I lay my head? And call it a night from here, guys, because it is... We are approaching the midnight. It's okay, up to you. I know it's up to me. It's... Yeah, I'll do this off stream. Thing is that I want to have that feeling that I'm going to finish this before Christmas. I would love to get this done for Christmas. But if I can't, then I can't, you know. I can't really beat myself over that. I can't finish it in 2 days. But you know, it's that feeling I would like to know. At least I can say I've done this, with exception of this bit, of course. But I can say at least I've done cutting. So I've made progress. Good luck on that. This one though, because this one is hard to listen for some, I reckon. Yeah, this is not an easy story. I think this is probably going to be one of our toughest stories to read through. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anyone. This is not easy. And trying to find pictures and songs for this is not going to be easy either. I've got one idea for an image, but I would have to look hard for that one. It's somewhere in here. I think it's around here is when the image I have in mind. I'll stop by to leave a like and cheer on from afar. Hey! But trying to find whos should be simple. Well, I know where my whos are, Zen. I know where they are. I know where you hide them, Zen. It's kind of laughable where you hide it. But no, trying to make this video is not going to be easy. And people watching this is not going to be easy for them either. But I would I encourage you to watch it though, because this is a beautiful story. It really is. I'm not saying it because because disaster and all that, but the author of this, C.L. McClendon, they have done a wonderful job making this. They've made a wonderful job writing this story. It has a great build up, a good start, a great build up. Kind of like a false hope, because you want to encourage, you want to root on for the hero, but the more you read it, the more you realize it's not going to end well for them. It's gonna have a gut-wrenching moment. It's not okay. So Moody's already read it and he said it himself. He didn't tear up. I don't think it's gonna make some people tear up. Some might, but I think it's gonna be less tearing and more gut-wrenching. I think it's gonna make your head heavy, if you know what I mean by that. It's gonna make your head feel heavy. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to take in. And then the end, I think, is... When you finish reading the story, as I said, I think it's going to make you want to hug someone to make sure that everything's fine. It made me feel still in the moment. Yeah, chills. Speechless. You know, like, it's just, there's not, you're unsure how to feel about it. Not in a disgust way, but in a emotional way. So I still encourage you all to read it, and if you really want to, I also recommend going to the Creepypasta website to read it for yourself. I don't know how the rating... There's a star rating on their website. I recommend giving it 10 out of 10. If it is 10 stars. 2, 6, 9... Yeah, it's 10 stars. I recommend giving it a 10 star. Leave a comment on there. Tell them how you feel about it. Show this person some love, because they did an absolutely brilliant job writing this story. As sad as it is, it's very good. It's brilliant. And like I said, it's not because I'm okay with disaster films. It's generally a good read. It's generally well worded. It's generally... It's a genuine story. It's not trying hard. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's telling a story that could be very real. So, as I bummed all you out, no, but yeah, when I finish this, I encourage you all to read it, listen to it if you need to, if you don't have time to read for yourself. I'm going to try my hardest to try and make this video as good as possible before either Christmas or New Year's, before 2021 starts. Woo. And yeah, I will cap it off by saying that even though this is going to be probably the most difficult video I'm going to make, I think this is also one of the more enjoyable videos. Tiff. I'm not forcing you to read it, Tiff. If you don't want to listen to it, if you don't want to read it, I understand. But I like I said, I will say that it is a genuinely great story, and I think it should be given the it should be given some attention. I think it is a brilliantly well story, and I hope the person, C.L. McClendon, continues to make great stories like this. When are you trying to post it by? Before Christmas, I would prefer. or before New Year's. So I would like to upload it on December. Sometime December. Because, like, this is a Christmas story, and I think it's fitting for it to be in December. If it ends up on January, fine. It's no big deal if it ends up in January. The most I would say is that I'm happy that I could finish the video by then. But other than that, thank you all for coming by. Thank you for watching the Dancing Horse dancing in the void of snow. And I hope that you all have a lovely day or a lovely night, depending where you are. Till then, I will see you all another time. Goodbye.